And now, live from the 2015 Vancouver International Wine Festival, Anthony Gismondi and Casey Wilson. This is Tony and Casey's Best of Food and Wine on CIL 650.
Welcome back to the Best of Food and Wine. I'm Tony Gismondi.
I'm Casey Wilson.
We're live on location tonight at the 37th Annual Vancouver International Wine Festival, right on the floor, actually, in the Australian section, with 2,500 people here tasting tonight.
At least.
And this is Tasters Night, so they restrict the number of people in the room, if you can believe that, so that they can have a better tasting experience. But it's packed. Joining us now is a great friend and probably one of the most elegant women in the wine business. SueHodder, welcome to the show.
Great to be here.
People have been raving about you all day long, saying how amazing you are. Well, we know that, and it's hard to take when people tell you that, but we're so happy you're in Vancouver.
And I'm raving about her beautiful red jacket.
Yeah.
You're very kind, you guys.
She blew the room away this morning at the tasting.
I bet she did.
And I think she's stressed out because the vintage is on and you're not there, too.
Yes, we'll start.
Although you got a great
next
team.
Week.
But
yes,
yeah.
Certainly, yeah.
Are you worried about that, or you'll...
I'm a little anxious, but I have got a great team, and we will start in earnest next week, and I'll be back.
Well, Sue, you're well ensconced at Wynns now. You're the face of Wynns, and you've done such a great job, turning that winery into not turning it into, but keeping it a very special place. Tell us a little bit about Coonawarra. You're a long way from anywhere in some ways. Tell us about the region, the sub-region.
Yes, so Coonawarra is a southerly region. It's a small town and small grape-growing region by world terms.
Yep.
It's a southerly climate, which in Australia is cool, of course. And the most notable characteristic of the region is the famous Terra Rossa soil.
Yeah, which is red soils. It's tell us a little bit about that cigar-shaped band that everybody wants to grow grapes on.
Yes, so the Terra Rossa soil is the most highly prized viticultural soil in the country, and it just has the right physical properties for the growing of good quality red grapes, which is generally related to the drainage and the physical and mineral characteristics of that soil.
Yeah. And the region just from Adelaide, how many kilometres would it be down south?
So
or
360 kilometres from Adelaide and a good 5-hour drive from Melbourne.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, and town of 34, so we know each other very well.
A town of 34, Casey. Can you imagine that? You could not live in a town like that, Casey.
No, I couldn't.
I met the woman at the general store the second I was in town. Who's that guy? What's going on? Where is he going?
No,
she knows everything.
That's right. We all know each other's business.
She makes a mean meat pie too, I think. But
yes.
We love meat pies.
Oh, sure. Yes.
And you've been quite involved in some tannin research. Can we talk a little bit about that? And let's talk about tannin.
Yes, well, tannins are an integral part of all wines, and our understanding of tannins as winemakers is something that we really haven't got a full appreciation of yet. So we've done a lot of work on grape tannins that are present when we're growing the grapes, and understanding of what contributes to them in the vineyard. But then, of course, there's the gap between grape and wine tannin, and we've got this amazing body, the Australian Wine Research Institute, and they're here at the fair, actually, and they've done a lot of work with us, with different winemakers on that, because the nature and quality of tannins is important to the understanding of good wine.
Yes, and what do they bring to wine?
They bring to taste, they bring structure and taste, which gives texture. It's like a cup of tea. You know, a strong pot of tea will give you a very tannic tea.
Yes, or if you're from the prairies, eating choke cherries.
Oh, I see. I don't know them, but I bet you have a local example. But or like a green banana, one that's not quite ripe, that has green tannins.
Yeah, sure.
So they are integral to quality fruit. And generally, good quality tannins equate to good quality red wine.
And in a wine that has good tannin, good acid, and good fruit, a balance of the three, then you get something magic. Let's talk about this wine because, Casey, as you can see, we're having the black label Coonawarra. Now, this is a famous label, well-known wine, but let's think about this wine festival. It's 37 years old. This is the 57th vintage of Black Label, so it's 20 years older than the festival, the start of it, which was way back. That would be 79, say about 59 or 58 or something. I don't know, somewhere around there.
Yeah, 54 was the first, but we missed a couple.
Okay.
When did you start?
I started at the end of 92.
So do you feel pressure? Did you feel pressure from when you think of a Cabernet being made for this long?
Yes, and certainly the responsibility of that. Yeah.
Yes.
But it's a privilege as well.
And she followed a giant of a guy, so the whole situation was amazing. I think to go into Coonawarra, to be a woman, to follow Peter Douglas, it was an amazing challenge. But you've done such a great job.
Well, we have great vineyards, and we've got a great viticulturist.
You sure do.
So that's so important to what we do.
You should mention his name, so in case he hears us, he'll...
Yeah, Alan Jenkins.
Yeah,
he's just got a profound understanding of the vineyards and in particular the older vines. He's passionate and intuitive as well as being scientific. God, he'd die of shock if he knew I was giving him all this acknowledgement. But
we're going to send him.
But you're a winemaker who went to the vineyard, whereas in the older days they would have stayed in the winery and tried to make wine. But things have changed a lot.
Most certainly. And I started at college in viticulture and from an agricultural background. So it's very important. Our
guest is SueHodder. She's the chief winemaker at Wynns, and we're talking about the 2012. Black Label Cabernet Sauvignon, which is really an iconic wine in Australia and very well known in Vancouver. It's been here for ages, in and out of the market, but a super wine. Tell us a bit about the 2012, about Black Label. What does it mean to you, the Black Label Cab? Does it have a...
Wynns Black Label Cabernet is most certainly our most important wine.
Yeah.
It's what we're known for and judged by.
Yeah.
And 2012 is one that we rate very highly. We love the length and finesse of the wine, but it's not a standout wine. We value the 2010 and the 2013 that we'll release later this year. So we aim to have good quality wines that reflect the best of the vintage.
This wine has lovely freshness, so everything's in balance and it's approachable. I mean, this is a Cabernet Sauvignon. When you taste it, it's almost shocking that it is so lovely today and it's still young. So,
well,
I think you got to be happy with that.
We're delighted, and that's the nice thing about being at Wynns is that you can taste the old library wines. In particular, those of the 1960s are the ones that inspire us. So.
And in those days, there wasn't much alcohol in the wine, so that's another thing that you've pursued, I think, is to get a handle on that.
Yes, keep the alcohol down, which of course starts with the good vineyards and keeping things in balance and not.
Yeah.
And what is the alcohol in this wine?
It's about 13.3. It's be labelled as 13.5. We round up. So.
Yeah.
And what is your favorite food pairing with this wine?
So many wines, so many foods for this wine, but I like these with dumplings and a good range of Chinese foods, good fish.
I know, they say that you don't have red wine with Chinese food, but it's not true, is it?
No,
this would go very well with it.
Especially with wines with great acidity and a little bit of tannin work really well with Chinese food.
Delicious, and good curries. I find it's just so versatile.
Gorgeous. Are you enjoying your stay in Vancouver?
Oh, loving it.
Yeah?
Gorgeous setting here on the harbour and really terrific.
Yeah, fun to be here. You'll be up to your neck soon enough.
I will be, but I'm looking for some good Vancouver food after this. So.
I recently had a chance to taste the Riesling. The Riesling project's great at Wynns and still booming ahead. You're pretty happy with that too, I would think.
We love the Riesling, and whilst it's a quiet achiever, we've been making it since 1962. And it's a dry style, but soft, and again, another food versatile wine.
And Riesling is sold well in Australia as compared to other countries where now, people love Riesling, but it's taken a while.
Yes, it has. Look, it's still quite a small market category, Casey, but we'd like to see greater interest in Riesling, but people that know wine love Riesling.
Yeah, I love Riesling. So have you had any strange people at the booth or fun people?
We've had a lot of people that love...
yeah. It's pretty good level. You're interesting questions and that sort of thing.
Very good. Very pleasing and worthwhile. Great to be here.
Well, Sue, great to catch up with you. I'm sorry you have to rush back to the vintage, but enjoy your 2 or 3 days in Vancouver, and hopefully you can enjoy our city maybe Sunday or Monday. I'm
Certainly.
not sure.
No, I will. I'm enjoying it now.
Yeah.
And you can take wine to restaurants in Vancouver now. It's fairly recent. We have a corkage feast, so I think you should take this to some of our fabulous Asian restaurants.
Yeah, I will. I'll look forward to that. Thanks for the call.
Casey Wilson will give you the list.
Great.
Thanks so much, and we'll catch up with you soon. Actually, I'm going to come by and taste some wines tomorrow in the afternoon, perhaps. Sue, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
SueHodder, she's the chief winemaker at Wynn's in Coonawarra. It's an amazing place if you have time and you're visiting Australia and you like long drives. I recommend it. And you can also, I think there was a saint born in that town, Mother Mary MacKillop.
Yes, Mary MacKillop, Australia's first saint. Absolutely.
Yeah,
only 34 people and you have a saint.
Yes, she's in Penola down the road.
Yeah.
And I'll bet you have a cottage too.
Yes, we do have a cottage.
Okay, thanks, Sue. Art, we're out of here. Do you want to mention those tickets? We've got a bunch of tickets we're giving away.
So we've given away one pair, and we've got 2 more to give away on Facebook. Go to our Facebook page, Best of Food and Wine with Anthony Gismondi and Casey Wilson. Just click, tell us what your favorite Australian wine is.
Yeah.
In the comments.
Wouldn't that be good?
And 2 people will be going.
And if it's not an Australian wine, they're not getting the tickets, Art.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what we'll do. Hey, you're listening to the Best of Food and Wine. I'm Tony Gismondi.
I'm Casey Wilson.
We are live on the floor of the Vancouver International Wine Festival. It's year 37. We're in the Australian section, along with, actually 165 wineries, I think. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to start all over with some locals right down the street.